It's been a minute, hasn't it? I mean, since I made a video like this one. But something interesting came across my eyes when I was on the YouTube Studio app, which for anybody who makes videos and uploads them to YouTube, you're probably familiar with it. If not, it's just where you see, in my case, how bad your videos are doing. It gives you all that information. Anyway, it gives me little bits of advice here and there. Sometimes it's saying like, hey, you might think about learning how to, make better audio or better lighting or better video editing type stuff. In this case, though, it gave me some very strange advice. It said, follow a trend. And I kind of thought that was the bad advice. Your parents always tell you, like, if your friend jumped off a cliff, would you follow him? Well, apparently in this case, I guess Google and YouTube want you to do just that. Follow a trend. And I started thinking about that. Is that good advice? I mean, that's kind of what everybody tells you. You got to figure out what's popular, right? So you can make videos about that. I think that the parental advice is probably better in this case. I mean, unless you've got some giant channel or something like that. Then sure, follow the trend because you're the big channel and all the traffic is going to go to you. But if you've got a little tiny channel, probably don't follow the trend. I feel like there's a lot of trend following on YouTube and other places these days. It's like everybody just does the same thing. At least as far as maybe it's the algorithm just feeding this crap to me. Either people are making stuff where they review tech stuff or camera stuff, which then gets purchased by content creators like myself. That's probably what led me to getting this Sony camera. On YouTube, everybody says that Sony has the best darn camera for making videos. So, of course, I went out and bought a Sony camera instead of a Canon or Nikon or something like that. They're probably not that different. I don't know. It's done pretty well for me. I can't complain, but who knows? Maybe there was another path. Maybe in another reality, I have a Canon camera or Nikon. And in that reality, everybody on YouTube says that that's the best. Something like that. Following trends, like I said, I don't think it's a good idea. If you follow a trend and you're a small channel like mine, then you're just going to get lost in a sea of voices. No one's ever going to hear what you have to say because you're going to be competing with millions and millions of videos. Probably better if you can set the trend. I don't know how it works, with the algorithms. I don't know what the chances are of actually getting out there, but it doesn't really matter in my case. By the way, you're probably wondering where in the world I've been. But I mean, really, the answer is, where haven't I been? I mean, I've been in Dubai, I've been in Casablanca, Paris, Dijon, you name it. Atlanta, Chicago, back home at the house. I had to go back to the house to work on some things, cut the grass, make sure everything isn't falling down the hill or something like that, tax stuff. Because, we're not free people. I know we like to think of ourselves as being free, but we're serfs here. Come on. If I don't go back and pay the lords that rule over us all the tax money that they decide that they need, then, well, they'll just come and take my property. And that'll be that. Serfdom. So yeah, we've been doing that. I had actually made this grand video of all these places that I went, like I said, Casablanca and Dubai and all of this stuff. And then I started following this trend on YouTube, and it said that, you can do all your video editing right there on the iPad. So I thought, hey, when I go back to China, which is where I'm at right now, I'm in Kunming, then, I don't need to bring the whole laptop thing. I can save some weight because I can edit all my videos on the iPad, which is still over there in China. So, I came back and you can, the videos are true to some extent. Unfortunately, they can't do 10-bit video. So all of my videos were in 10-bit. And, I have to downgrade to 8-bit in order to do anything. I don't even know if this video is going to work. We're going to find out if I can actually edit this on the iPad and get it out so that there's actually some video. But, the whole thing with Dubai and Casablanca and all of that is going to have to wait until I get back to America again, which I should be doing on Monday, I think. I have no idea. I'm supposed to be going back soon, My son is supposed to start school and all of that stuff, so back to America. Some of you are probably going to be like, that's the right move. That's the right thing to do, Jay. But some of the others are probably going to be like, America, come on, that's boring. We don't want to hear about America. We want to hear about expat stuff. Yeah, I know, I hear you. But, life. I mean, you got to do what you got to do. I've got to do the right thing for my son. And, well, he's been begging to go back to the United States, back to his friends and his school and all of that. So I guess it's going to be America again for a little while until at least he's through kindergarten, and then we'll see about going someplace else. Probably to Europe, although we see how that worked out last time. I was going to go to France. We still have the place over there. I don't know what we're going to do. Who knows? I'm being pulled in 3 different directions. I've got family here in China saying, be in China. We've got the stuff going on in Europe, which you go to Europe and everything is so beautiful. It's very difficult. And then, of course, there's the house in America and the school and everything that is pulling us in that direction. So, yeah. It's tough. You think you've made the decision, and then it turns out you don't know. You get to the place, and you're like, but maybe we could make it work if we went to France again, or, China's kind of nice to be with family and all of that. But, every place has its flaws. I mean, here in China, there's the lack of permanence, I can be here for long periods of time, but it's not permanent. It's not like I have, a green card or something like that lets me stay forever. Even if I had the green card, it would only be for a certain amount of time. Then there's Europe. That could be permanent, but, it'd be a struggle at first because I've got to find some kind of work. I mean, obviously the YouTube thing isn't paying. Yeah, it's really not paying because now YouTube has sent me some kind of thing that says I have to verify my identity and my bank account, which I did before. But I can see how much my videos are making. Not that they're making that much. But none of that money is coming to me. I'm just seeing how much Google is making from the videos. So, yeah, that's not paying the bills. I'd have to find some kind of work over there in Europe. Then there's America, You go back to America, and it's really easy to get back into the old, just the same old. It just feels stagnant, life over there. So, every place has its flaws. It's really tough to make a decision. You try to weigh everything out, and it's all like, well, it's all kind of equal in the end, except for the whole permanence thing. That's a real challenge here in China. I guess I could go to Taiwan. There's a path to permanence there. Japan even, could go over there. I was in Tokyo at the airport. I didn't actually go out anywhere, but I was in the airport, and I was thinking, oh man, if I could maybe I should just go out and we could, I wouldn't mind being in Japan. It would be nice. That was a weird flight, by the way. You didn't get to see it yet because, those videos are stuck, but let me tell you about service on some of those flights. So I flew business class when I was flying out to Dubai, and I've flown on planes a lot. I know what to expect from service, but this was like a crazy over-the-top sort of thing. I mean, I know you're in business class or first class. You expect to have extra service, but I just didn't feel... I mean, maybe some people would love it. I know lots of people like to be pampered, but I can find my way to the lavatory, and I can open the door myself. I don't need the stewardess to follow me to the bathroom. That was an odd experience. Like I said, I've never had the stewardess follow me to the bathroom and open the door for me, and then be waiting there when I come out. That was like, okay, okay. Or, like you're in business class in some of the planes, and you're in like a little pod, so you can shut the door, and you think you're sealed off from everything else. You're just in your own little space, so you can relax. Well, the stewardesses decided that they wanted to hang out over there. So every time I finished a drink, no matter what, and I know this is, the business class or first class, you're supposed to get this stuff, but it's like they're hanging over this wall that's supposed to separate me from the rest of the flight so that I can, relax. And they're hanging over that, asking me constantly, oh, do you need more? What else would you like to drink? Can I get you more food? And it's like, no, I just had like 3 cups of coffee. I'm going to be in trouble here in a minute. But that was crazy. An interesting flight. It was nice. I mean, on that, in those kinds of seats, you can put your seat turns into a bed, and you can actually sleep for long flights like that, which is nice. But it doesn't work if they keep hanging over. That's another. They shut the door, and they're like opening it and all. It was an interesting flight. But Dubai and Casablanca and all of that. I'll eventually get that out for you guys. In either case, I better end this here. The battery's dying on the camera, and I better see if I can actually edit this video and put it out in some way. Hopefully the VPN actually works so I can do that. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one.